Arthur J. Bressan Jr. was one of the first iconic filmmakers in the history of gay erotic cinema that saw the importance of weaving and capturing our history while at the same time making it okay to watch educational stuff with your porn. In this episode, we're going to celebrate the work of Arthur J. Bressan Jr., a true filmmaker, genre-bending pioneer who worked across documentary, narrative, adult, and short-form filmmaking, earning him critical acclaim and controversy. This is Demystifying Gay Porn. My name is Ike Grande, and if you watch gay porn, I've definitely helped you get off. Arthur J. Bressan Jr. was born on May 27, 1943, and was raised in New York City.
Well, I was born and raised on the street where they filmed West Side Story, on West 68th Street. And I taught myself how to make movies from watching great movies of the past. So I never went to school for it, which is probably one reason why I still love film very much.
He would graduate from high school and attend Iona College and New York University, not for film, but for education. Bressan became a high school teacher at Power Memorial Academy, then a federal director, administrator of education for the U.S. Department of Education. All the while, he moonlighted as an amateur filmmaker and journalist. At the age of 25, Bressan left his job to focus on making films. After watching Bressan's filmography, it becomes evident that he has a vision, and that he continued to expand it throughout his career. His work is playful, creative, controversial, and confrontational. It's very stylish and haunting, to the point where I have to assume there originally may have been no attached distributor, so artistic freedom is on full display. His productions span from coast to coast, exhibiting unique images of early 70s California and New York, working with such stars as Richard Locke, Michael Christopher, and Johnny Dawes. Between 1972 and 1985, Bressan made 11 films, ending up with an eclectic mix of features, shorts, and a handful of erotic films. Bressan's features often included original scores, storylines, and scene setups, and he was a shameless promoter of his other works. But who wouldn't be? Technically, I've seen many great shooting styles, and Bressan's use of the camera, music, and shots in this industry are unparalleled. To Bressan, it wasn't a gay porn film. It was a film about gay men dealing with what gay men do. Bressan began his career with 2 short films before making Passing Strangers. For his next project, Bressan took his short film Coming Out and expanded upon it with his documentary Gay USA.
I'm here because I would like to support civil rights for everyone. I think, this is something this country has fought for a long time, and why let it go down the drain now?
Where did you get the idea to make the film?
I was in the Orange Tuesday demonstration. That was the reaction to Anita Bryant Dade County vote on June 7th, I think. And in front of City Hall, I just was really, really mad that the vote had gone the way it went, and that a lot of my gay friends were feeling a little queasy and guilty about being gay. So I thought, well, I'll declare war on this whole situation by making a movie about it.
The film is notable for showing a wider audience the enormity of the queer population that existed in the country, as well as depicting the little-known prosecution of queer individuals in Nazi Germany.
In tyrannical societies, in oppressive societies, in fascist societies, people are taught to dress alike. People are forced to dress alike, to act alike, to perform alike, as opposed to follow their inner needs, their inner wants, their own emotions. And it's easier to control people when you don't relate to them on an individual level. All you're relating to them as an image. I'm an individual human being, and I want to express that. I want to express the truth inside of me. I mean, everybody is different, and if they express that differentness, then people don't automatically fall into line and start automatically taking orders and automatically not question what superiors, quote unquote, are telling them to do.
Bressan would follow Gay USA with Forbidden Letters, a narrative gay porn film, before once again diving into more controversial topics with Abuse.
Tommy, not again.
Drink it.
Go on.
All of it. Drink it down.
Faster and stop spilling it on yourself.
Abuse is turning out to be a very controversial film, first in the gay community and then in the community at large. Why don't you just tell me a little bit about the story of Abuse and how you came to write the script?
Well, basically, Abuse is a story about a 14-year-old boy who is horribly mutilated by his parents, physically and psychologically, and how he escapes.
Abuse is a documentary-style fiction film about the ethics of putting a child that is being physically abused in a film and not intervening, as documentaries are known to do. Not intervene. A little alarming is the over-insinuated sexual relationship between the filmmaker in the film and the young subject.
There's no, as I remember, I've seen the film 3 times, but I'm not sure if there's
Courageous
any
man.
explicit sexuality.
No, there's one kiss in this movie, you know.
And yet you've made mostly explicit sexual films.
I've done a lot of erotic films, pornographic films, films where you see, honestly, the sex presented in what's usually called a romantic sense because there's emotion in my films. This movie is very subtle. There's one kiss, and that kiss causes more trouble than all a compendium of orgasms from my other movies that people might want to protest against. And it's a beautiful kiss, it's tender, and it comes after an hour of getting to know the people.
Right.
It's amazing that in America, where we can see people killing one another, that a single kiss can cause this much queasiness. But that's a cipher of our culture and our society, not so much of my film.
Morning, little buddy. Sorry I'm late. Something popped up.
In his next film, Pleasure Beach, dedicated to the memory of filmmaker Jack DeVoe, Bressan directs a beautifully shot gay porn film starring Johnny Dawes and Michael Christopher as lifeguards, and featuring one Arthur Bressan Jr. Bressan continued owning his style with Juice and Daddy Dears before directing his last film, Buddies, a story about a man dying of AIDS, meeting his buddy from the gay center.
What do you mean, disowned him?
Mom, when they found that he was gay, that was it. They cut him off.
But he's sick. Maybe dying. What sort of people could...
Mom, it's not like everybody has the same values.
A child is your child, no matter what. Maybe you should get their address and write them.
Mom, Robert's a grown man.
Well, you're his buddy. Maybe you should just do it. Write them a letter, set up a reunion.
Oh, fly him to New York, orchestra seats for La Caja full, and then off to the hospital for a big reconciliation.
Don't get sarcastic. You know what I mean.
Mom, if they were going to come, they would have done it by now. All parents are not like you and Dad.
Does he need anything? Does he have a lover?
I don't know. So far, I've talked more about myself than he's told me about him.
How bad is it? The AIDS.
He's had the pneumonia 2 times in the last 9 months. He's pretty weak.
Buddies tackles a lot of misconceptions that characterized an AIDS diagnosis and the aftermath. Buddies is considered the first American film to deal with the subject of the AIDS pandemic.
Do you want to write down what I should say? I mean, if I'm going to do this thing, I want it to be absolutely politically correct. No. Just be honest. Just tell the truth.
Arthur J. Bressan died of AIDS-related complications on July 29, 1987. Bressan was a compassionate gay man who cared about his rights and the rights of his community. This is in full display in the works he left behind for us and future generations. He told visual stories and celebrated gay culture while sometimes forcibly shocking others with depiction and representation. I've often said that at times, the filmmaker does not know he was documenting a specific moment in history. Arthur J. Bressan knew. He knew the power of cinema and put it into practice. He was documenting the momentary zeitgeist as well as presenting positive images of the expansive and multidimensional gay community. After Bressan's death, many of his films would be lost to time. His papers were donated to Frameline in San Francisco and eventually the San Francisco Media Archive. In 2018, queer film historian Jenny Olson and Rosemary BRESSAN began the BRESSAN Project with the goal of preserving, restoring, and re-releasing the films of Arthur J. Bresson. Films that can lead you to ponder how when we were so close and got so far, we still find ourselves with a long road ahead. You've been watching Demystifying Gay Porn. I'm your host, Ike Grande. Demystifying Gay Porn can be found on every podcast directory as well as YouTube. Demystifying Gay Porn is on X, Facebook, Instagram, Substack, Threads. And if you like what you're watching or listening to and want to be a part of the process, head over to patreon.com/demystifying gay porn, where you can support this podcast and YouTube channel, and I can continue making content like you've just enjoyed. As always, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, leave a comment, and let me know what else you'd like me to cover. This is Demystifying Gay Porn. My name is Ike Grande, and if you watch gay porn, I've definitely helped you get off.